Cooking is not for the faint of heart. You must be imaginative, strong-hearted. You must try things that may not work. And you must not let anyone define your limits because of where you come from. Your only limit is your soul. What I say is true. Anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great.
Hey guys, Nagi here, and welcome back to Anyone Can Craft Part 3, and today we're going to be crafting amulets. Amulets are probably the trickiest to craft on, where weapons, they're also pretty tricky to craft on as well, but at least with a weapon, you know what you're going for, and the weapon has the ability to roll it, where if you try to roll on an amulet, it can be so varied trying to get what you want, that it may cost you more in the long run to even roll on it with augmentations and annulment orbs. So in this case, unless you're playing SSF or you're playing a super meta build, it will be cheaper for you to just buy a base off the market that you can craft on versus actually making it yourself from the start. However, as my boy Auguste Cousteau said in Ratatouille, anyone can craft, but only the fearless can be great. So without further ado, let the gambling begin. So what we're going to do, ideally you're going to want to use probably a solar amulet or a gold amulet. Again, you can find these bases either from like doing the temple or just out in the world in the higher level maps that you can do. But in here, these are probably your ideal bases. You either want a gold amulet for the magic find or the solar amulet for the extra spirit. Either one is pretty good, and you're going to want at least item level 82 so you're able to roll the +3 to skills, depending on what you're looking for. So I don't want either of these, and what I'm going to be looking for, if I'm going to be crafting an amulet for myself, is going to be a +3 to melee skills. So we're going to try looking for that. Okay, T1 Spirit's pretty good. Oof. Okay. Come on. See, another method that you could do there, if you really want to, you can craft on that Spirit Amulet if you wanted to. However, your chances of fracturing that mod so you can then Chaos Spam to be able to get that +3 to levels is insane. That is a very, very difficult thing to do. Not difficult, but you're gambling with a lot of money at that point. But we're going to keep going here. So here's the thing. So we can look at this really quick. Solar Amulet with T1 Spirit and +3 to level minion, to +3 to all minion skills is 65 divine as it is. Probably sell it for like 70. And this is with T1 Spirit and the T1 level sub minions. I might just take this and just sell it, honestly, and then just work on crafting another base. So we're just going to go with that. We're going to just save that for later. This is actually probably a very ideal crafting base for a minion build. So we're just going to hold on to that. So we're going to just keep rolling on another one. Ooh. Okay. Oh, not the energy shield. Okay, you know it's fine. It's okay. So what we're probably going to do here is I'm probably going to craft on a opulent essence here. So we're going to go here really quick. Take this, go in here. And then we're going to upgrade this with rarity. That's kind of what I want on my amulet now at this point. So we're going to put this on there. We're going to take this and then we're going to hit it with a Omen of Sinistral Crystallization. And we're going to hit it with an Essence of Enhancement. So that will get rid of that prefix. And I may not need it necessarily. Because this will roll prefix, so I might not actually need this Sinistral Crystallization. I'm going to give it a shot here. So this is kind of playing with fire a little bit, but we're going to give it a shot here. Oh, yeah, nope. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. Oh. Well, that's embarrassing. That is very embarrassing.
A few moments later.
Okay. We're not going to mess around this time. We're not going to mess around this time. So, we got 3 melee skills again. And I got 2-1 life, but it's not that I'm not looking for 2-1 life. 2-1 life is very good. But you know, we can do it. Well, we can work with this. This is actually very, very, very doable. So, what we're going to do now is, again, I need to get another Essence of Opulence. And then we're going to upgrade it again with the Opulence. Give it that rarity. Okay. And then I'm going to divine this a couple times to try to get that perfect roll on that max life. And then we're going to fracture it. And ideally, we want to hit that levels 2 melee skills in case anything goes wrong with the craft. That way we can roll some Chaos Orbs on it and we can maybe try to fix it. But I want to make sure that all the rolls are as good as they can be before I fracture it. We can go up to 149 life, so I kind of want to look for something like that. 148, but I also want the rarity to be decent enough. It would be very ideal to have it in a decent roll here. Alright, I think this is close enough. 3 life isn't going to make that big of a difference. And then next what we're going to do is I'm going to hit it with a collarbone, and I want it to hit a prefix again. That way when I use my crystallization, it will try to remove an unnecessary prefix, and then we can use the Essence of the Abyss to re-essence it again. So we're going to give that a shot. Alright. So we're going to take a Sinistral Necromancy, which will give it a prefix, collarbone, and then we're going to pray. We're going to Fracturing Orbit. Oof. I did not want to hit the life, but it's okay. This is still very, very workable. Because now, you know, we just can't really mess up this craft. And there really isn't too much to mess up now. It's kind of just putting on defenses. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with this Sinistral Crystallization. And we're going to hit it with the Essence of Enhancement again. And this time I won't mess it up. Take one of these. I'm going to put it in here. And it should remove that. Okay, lowest roll on the defense, but that's fine. We'll roll on it after. And then we're going to do it again, but this time I want to put the Essence of the Abyss, so that way when I do put another collarbone on here, it will give me a higher roll on the modifier. So we're going to do that again. It will say that it might fail, but I'm going to try to remove that global defenses again. And it removed it. Perfect. See? And it worked. The next thing we're going to want to do is that we're going to use this Catalyzing Exaltation. And then we're going to use a perfect exalted orb. But first, we want to put this quality up with life so we can get the percentage life roll, which will be really, really nice. So we're going to give that a shot. Okay. And now that it is fully qualitied up, we're going to get a Omen of Sinistral Exaltation. I think I have one of those. I do. I'll put those in here. And I wanted to hit that life roll. Like, that is probably my most ideal to hit here. So we're just going to give it a shot. It's not going to be easy. It is a very low roll to hit. But the Omen of Catalyzing Exaltation should give me a higher chance of hitting it. And we're going to hit it with this Perfect Exalted Orb. And then, actually, before I do that, okay, everything's good, right? Yep. It gave me mana. Again, not the most ideal, but if you really want to, you can try to roll that off again with the Sinistral Crystallization and hit it with the enhancement again. Enhancement's still good. Like, if I wasn't trying to roll for the Desecration, we can 100% roll this. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to use another Collarbone, which I need to get another one, so give me 1 second. And then we're going to roll over this again. Yep. And then we're going to use that Crystallization, and we're going to try to roll off that mana. If we roll off that mana, it'd be really nice. If we hit Desecration, oh well. We're going to have to try again. But this is a lot cheaper than using Omens of Lights, and then cleansing that off, and then rolling the thing again, and it's a hassle to do that. Alright, it hit the Desecration. Again, not a big fan, but we're going to keep going here. Try it again. And again, I want this to hit the mana because I want a better chance at hitting like an armor roll instead. So we're going to hit this Sinistral Crystallization again, and then we're going to hit this Essence of the Abyss and hope that it removes that mana roll. It did not. We're going to try again. I guess before I keep wasting more money, I am going to try to roll the last modifier, which ideally I would love to get Chaos Resistance. I just added the Chigula Catalyst, so to add 20% to Chaos modifiers, and we're going to use this Catalyzing Exaltation again to try to get that Chaos Res. I got Intelligence. Again, this Amulet's already not looking too great. But we're gonna keep trying again. So it's fine. So I'm gonna do a Collarbone here, and then we're gonna just Essence roll until we get what we need. I'll put those in my inventory, and we're gonna try to roll this. All right, perfect. We hit the mana, which is really, really good. And now we can kind of take this and we can roll it. Obviously, this is not the most ideal Amulet, but this is just kind of how Amulet rolling goes. It's super RNG. Even with the stuff that you have to kind of put the RNG into your favor, it is very hard to roll these. Here, hopefully we get armor. That would be ideal for this character, but let's see what we get. 35% increased armor. That is not the highest, but there are so many things I could roll on here. We're gonna try again, and whatever happens, happens. And we got a lower mana roll than what we had before. So if you really want to, if you have the currency to spend, or if you just have some on hand, definitely recommend getting Omen of Lights and just re-rolling it. We're just gonna give it one last shot here, and we're gonna try to save this. We're gonna Omen of Light, and then we're going to annul it and get rid of that Desecrated mod. And then we're gonna we're gonna Collarbone once again and hope that we hit this time. If not, then we're gonna have to settle with the amulet that we got. But this is the reality of crafting amulets. I'm not saying that it is not doable, but it is it does take a lot more resources than any other item in the game to craft. I mean, this is your finishing touch, essentially, on trying to craft. We're going to go for it again. Okay. Not really looking at any of these. I was a better mana roll than which is what I had before. We're going to try again. And we're just going to settle with this armor. Again, this is not my most ideal amulet. The amulet that I have is currently better, and I do need it because of the spirit. But this has armor, increased global defenses. This is still a really good amulet, by all means. There's nothing that, there's a perfectly acceptable amulet to wear. And it may even cover some of your attribute issues with the intelligence, but it's got 31% rarity, but T1 life, plus 3 to all to your melee skills, armor and global defenses. It's a pretty damn good amulet. But this is how it goes, and of course, if I hit the fracture on the plus to skills, then I could 100% just keep going. I could just reset Chaos Orb spam until I hit exactly what I need and then craft on it from there. But it is a very, very expensive task to achieve. Other than that, I just want to say thank you for watching the series. I know that this last one wasn't the most ideal in comparison to my other videos that I did on crafting, but this is how amulet crafting can go. Is you miss the fracture, you don't get the rolls that you need. This is about as ideal as I can make it without, risking breaking it. I'm going to be waiting for the next season. Please let me know what other content you'd like me to make. If there's any tips and tricks that you would like to know. I'm going to be coming out with videos about the new league. I'm going to set out some highlight videos, or one highlight video for the Freesia League, where I played for a few days, and I was able to get to endgame with my own build, and it's a very, very funny experience considering how hard they made the campaign because of it. But I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video.